The knife pressed against Naomi's ribs wasn't the worst part. It was recognizing the hand holding it. Victor Cruz, the man who'd branded her with a scorpion 7 years ago when she belonged to Los Espectros cartel. The man she'd stolen $40 million from. The man who'd just taken Tallon Grey's family hostage because she'd made the fatal mistake of falling in love. "There's our Luna," Victor whispered, his breath hot against her ear. The desert night around them crackled with tension. 6 armed men surrounding Tallon's family home on the New Mexico reservation. Inside, the man she loved was pinned down with his sister and grandmother. Outside, she was about to either save them all or watch them die because of her past. Her past. Always her past, chasing her like a shadow she couldn't outrun. 3 weeks ago, she'd driven onto this reservation, hunting a $2 million bounty named Marcus Webb. 3 weeks ago, Tallon Grey had stopped her on horseback, all quiet authority and turquoise jewelry, telling her to turn around. 3 weeks ago, she'd been running from everything. Now she was standing still for the first time in her life, and it might cost her everything. Victor's knife pressed deeper. Blood bloomed warm against her shirt. Behind her eyes, she counted positions, calculated angles, measured distances. She'd been Luna Reyes once, cartel enforcer, ghost, killer. She'd tried to bury that woman under a new name, a new face, a new purpose, chasing bounties instead of creating them. But some things you can't bury deep enough. The crypto keys, Luna. Then maybe I let the cowboy and his family live. Inside the house, she could see Tallon's silhouette in the window. Even from here, she knew his hands would be steady on his rifle, knew his jaw would be set in that way that meant he was calculating odds, making impossible choices. Knew he was probably blaming himself for trusting her. She should have kept running. Should have never let him pour her that coffee 3 weeks ago, all smoke and honey and the first kindness anyone had offered in months. Should have never told him about Louisiana, about her mother, about the girl she'd been before everything went wrong. Should have never kissed him under impossible stars and tasted hope for the first time in 7 years. Victor's men shifted positions. The house was surrounded. No backup coming. Couldn't risk it on tribal land without starting a jurisdictional nightmare. Just her past, and the man inside who'd seen every broken piece of her and hadn't looked away. The crypto drive hung from her neck on a thin chain. 40 million in stolen cartel funds. Her insurance policy, her cage, her last bargaining chip. "Deal," she said quietly, hands rising in surrender. She took one step forward, then another. Victor smiled, lowering the knife slightly. His men relaxed, just a fraction. That was their first mistake. Their second was forgetting that Luna Reyes had never actually died. She'd just been sleeping. Naomi moved. 3 weeks earlier, the blacked-out Dodge Charger kicked up red dust as Naomi followed the GPS ping toward Shiprock. Marcus Webb, cartel accountant, witness protection failure, $2 million bounty, had last pinged near reservation borders. She'd been tracking him for 6 weeks through 3 states, sleeping in her car, living on protein bars and cold coffee. This was it. This was retirement money. This was disappearing forever money. She didn't see the horse until it was directly in her path. Brakes screamed. The Charger fishtailed, stopping inches from the rider. A man sat calm as stone on a paint horse, backlit by the setting sun, tall, broad-shouldered, traditional turquoise on his wrist. He looked at her car like it was a noisy insect, then at her face like he could read every bad decision she'd ever made. "Turn around," he said simply. Naomi killed the engine, stepped out. 5'7" of tattooed muscle and bad attitude. "I'm tracking a fugitive. Got intel he's on reservation land." Not anymore. The man's voice was quiet but carried weight. "I'm Tallon Grey, tribal enforcement. You're not welcome here, and neither is your war." She pulled out her phone, showed him Webb's photo. "Seen him?" Something flickered in Tallon's dark eyes. Recognition. But he shook his head. "Even if I had, you've got no authority here. No warrant works on sovereign land. Turn around." "People are in danger. Not my people. Not yet. But you bring your violence here. That changes." He guided his horse closer. Up close, she could see the lines around his eyes, the traditional tattoos on his forearms, the way he sat like he was part of the landscape itself, rooted. Everything she wasn't. "I've seen women like you before," he said, not unkind. "Running so hard, you don't remember what you're running from anymore. Whatever you're chasing, it's not worth what you'll bring to this place. Naomi felt rage flash hot. You don't know anything about me. I know enough. I know that hollowness in your eyes. I know that way you keep your hand near your weapon. I know you're dangerous, and danger is the last thing this land needs more of. She wanted to argue, wanted to push past him, consequences be damned, but something in his steady gaze made her hesitate. When was the last time someone had really looked at her, seen her? 24 hours, she said instead. Then I'm gone either way. Tallon studied her for a long moment, finally nodded. There's a motel in Shiprock. Stay there. Stay away from reservation land. He rode away without looking back, leaving Naomi standing in red dust and fading light, hands shaking with adrenaline she couldn't name. That night in her motel room, she couldn't sleep. Kept seeing Tallon's eyes, the way he'd said, "Women like you, without judgment, just observation." Around midnight, her phone buzzed. Unknown number. A photo loaded slowly on the cheap motel Wi-Fi. Her own shoulder blade. The Scorpion brand she kept hidden under clothing and lies. The message below made her blood freeze. Coming home soon, Luna. V. Victor. After 3 years of silence, Victor had found her. She was packing her car in the pre-dawn darkness when fists hammered on her door. She grabbed her gun, cracked the door, found Tallon Grey standing there with volcanic fury in his eyes and fear beneath it. "Webb took my sister," he said without preamble. "Kaya. She was working late at the trading post. Security footage shows his crew grabbing her, 3 men, professional. She's 22 years old and she likes books and horses, and she's never hurt anyone in her life." Naomi's chest tightened. "Why are you telling me?" "Because you want him. I want my sister, and I know these lands better than anyone." His jaw worked. "We go together. We get Kaya back. Then you take your bounty and you leave and you never come back. Deal?" She should say no. Should run. Victor was coming, and anywhere she stayed too long became a target. But she looked at Tallon's face, saw the same desperation she'd felt 100 times, and heard herself say, "Deal." They met at the motel parking lot as purple dawn broke over the desert. Tallon arrived in a truck carrying 2 horses, gear, and a rifle. Naomi had her weapons, her tech, and the cold focus that had kept her alive this long. "Ground rules," Tallon said. "I know the land, the hiding places, the old mines Webb could use. You have contacts, equipment, and whatever skills got you this far. We share information. We don't take unnecessary risks. And Kaya comes first, always." Agreed. Naomi loaded her gear onto one of the horses. "I haven't ridden since I was a kid." "You'll remember." He adjusted her stirrups without being asked, hands gentle with the leather. "It's like violence. Once you learn, your body doesn't forget." She glanced at him sharply. He didn't look at her, just kept working. Finally, he pulled out a thermos, poured amber liquid into the cup. "Traditional Navajo tea. Drink. You'll need your energy." The tea tasted like smoke and honey and earth. It was the first kind thing anyone had offered her in months. She didn't say thank you, didn't know how anymore, but she didn't pour it out either. They rode east toward the Beastie Badlands, where Tallon's contacts had last spotted Webb's vehicle. The silence between them felt heavy but not hostile. Naomi watched how Tallon read the landscape like a language, tracks invisible to her, weather patterns in the clouds, the meaning in disturbed earth. She'd spent years relying on databases and street contacts. This was different, ancient, real. After an hour, Tallon spoke without looking at her. "You move like someone who's been running a long time." Not a question, not judgment, just observation. Naomi's hands tightened on the reins. She didn't answer, but something in her chest loosened slightly. She'd spent 3 years making sure nobody could read her, know her, see her. This man saw anyway. By midday, they found Webb's abandoned camp in a canyon wash. Tire tracks, spent cigarettes, food wrappers, and in the center of the disturbed dirt, catching sunlight like an accusation, a silver bracelet with turquoise stones. Tallon dismounted fast, picked it up with shaking hands. "Kaya's. My grandmother made it for her 16th birthday." Naomi studied the camp. They left maybe 6 hours ago, heading deeper into the Badlands. She pointed to tracks leading northeast. 3 vehicles. They're not worried about being followed. That means they have a secure location or they're planning to move her soon. Then we move faster. Tallon's voice was tight with controlled fear. Wait, Naomi caught his arm. Webb is smart. He knows you'd come for her. This could be a trap. I don't care. You should. Dead men don't save anyone. Their eyes met. Something passed between them. Understanding, maybe. They were both people who'd do anything for what mattered. Both people who'd already lost too much. So we're careful, Tallon said, but we don't stop. Naomi nodded. They mounted up, pushed the horses harder, followed the tracks deeper into sacred ground, where her kind didn't belong and his kind had always been. Behind them, unseen, a black SUV followed at a distance, patient as a circling vulture. They tracked Webb's crew deeper into Canyon de Chelly as afternoon heat pressed down like a weight. Tallon led them through places he normally wouldn't bring outsiders. Ancient paths, sacred sites, places where his grandmother had gathered herbs and his father had taught him to read stone and sky. Spider Rock, he said, pointing to a towering sandstone formation. In our stories, Spider-Woman lives there. She taught our people to weave, to create order from chaos. He glanced at Naomi. Everything here has a story. Everything is connected. Naomi had spent years disconnected. From people, from places, from anything that could anchor or trap her. The idea of connection felt foreign, dangerous. But she listened anyway, filing away the way Tallon spoke about the land like introducing her to relatives. You grew up here? She asked. Born in Phoenix, father moved us off the reservation for work when I was 10. Then he killed himself when I was 17. Tallon's voice stayed level, but his hands tightened on the reins. Came back here after college, needed to remember how to live, not just survive. Naomi understood that. She'd been surviving for 7 years. Couldn't remember the last time she'd actually lived. They rode in silence for another hour. Then, Naomi's horse went lame, stepped wrong on loose rock. Tallon dismounted to check the leg, found swelling. She needs rest. We camp here, continue on foot at dawn. We're losing time, and we'll lose more if we push too hard and make mistakes. Tallon began setting up a small camp in the shade of a rock overhang. Kaya's smart. She'll stay alive. She knows I'm coming. As sunset, painted the canyon walls orange and purple. Tallon built a small fire, prepared food with care. Naomi wanted to pace, to push forward, to not stop moving. But she was in his world now. So she sat, watched him move through evening rituals, burning sage, speaking quiet words in Navajo. He didn't explain. She didn't ask. But she stopped pacing. They ate in silence, simple food that tasted better than anything from her endless supply of protein bars. After, Tallon asked, "Those tattoos, what do they mean?" Naomi looked at the ink covering her forearms. "Stories I'd rather forget." "But you wear them visible. That's a choice." She'd never thought about it that way. "I guess I want to remember that choices have consequences, even the bad ones. Especially the bad ones." Tallon fed the fire. "My father used to say that the worst thing you can do with pain is pretend it didn't happen. That makes it poison. Better to acknowledge it, learn from it, then choose what comes next. And if what comes next is more pain, then at least you chose it." He looked at her directly. "You're not just running from something, you're running from yourself. That's the hardest thing to escape." Naomi felt something crack inside. "You don't know me. I know enough. I know you took this job because you thought money would solve whatever you're running from. I know you move like violence is your first language. I know you drink that tea I gave you, even though it probably tastes like dirt to you. And I know you're terrified right now, and it's not because of Webb." She should get angry, should shut down. Instead, she heard herself say, "I'm from Louisiana. My mother died when I was 12. After that, I got lost, joined people who seemed like family because they were the only ones who wanted me. They taught me things I wish I didn't know. I got good at survival. Too good. But you left." "I left." She stared into the fire. "Doesn't erase what I did, what I was. The land doesn't judge what you were," Tallon said quietly. "Only what you bring to it now." She looked at him then. Really looked. Saw someone who might understand that you can't erase your past, only choose what you do next. The space between them felt charged suddenly, dangerous in a different way. The next morning, they found blood. Not much. Droplets on stone, easy to miss. But Tallon saw them, followed the trail to an abandoned hogan where Webb's crew had spent the night, and there, scratched into the dirt floor, Kaya, mineshaft, east. "She's leaving us messages," Naomi said with grudging respect. "Your sister's smart. She's a geology major. She knows these lands better than Webb does." Tallon's voice filled with fierce pride and fear. "East means the old uranium mines, abandoned since the 50s, dangerous, unstable." They pushed hard through the afternoon heat. Around 4, they heard gunfire. Tallon and Naomi crested a ridge overlooking an abandoned trading post. Webb's crew, 5 men, visible, were loading supplies into vehicles. And there, locked in a storage shed, Kaya. "We're outnumbered," Naomi assessed, "but they're not expecting us. They think they're safe this far in." "Can you shoot?" She gave him a look that answered the question. "Right. Stupid question." Tallon checked his rifle. "On 3? On 3. What happened next was over in 90 seconds. Naomi moved like liquid violence, fast, precise, terrifying. She took down 3 men before they fully registered the threat. Tallon provided cover fire, controlled shots that pinned the others. Webb himself fled in one of the vehicles, leaving his crew behind. When the dust settled, Kaya was free, sobbing in Tallon's arms. The remaining men were zip-tied and calling for medical attention, and Naomi was behind the building, hands shaking, breathing too fast. Tallon found her there, didn't touch her, sat 5 feet away, waited. Finally she spoke. "I was good at this once, for the wrong people. I thought if I became good at it for myself, for the right reasons, it would feel different." She laughed bitterly. "It doesn't. I still see their faces after. I still feel like the same person I was trying to leave behind." "You're not." Tallon's voice was certain. "That person would have killed them. You didn't. That person wouldn't be shaking. You are. That person wouldn't care about my sister. You do. The land doesn't judge what you were, only what you bring to it now." She looked at him. The space between them had been shrinking for 2 days. Now it felt like nothing. Like everything. "We should get Kaya home," she said. "Yeah." But neither of them moved. The kiss happened like a storm building, slow, inevitable, overwhelming. Her hands in his hair, his palm against her jaw. It tasted like smoke and desperation, and something neither of them had expected. Hope. They pulled apart. Tallon opened his mouth. "Don't!" Naomi cut him off. "Don't talk about after. Don't make plans, please." Because she knew Webb wasn't the only one hunting her. Because she knew Victor was coming. Because she was terrified of wanting to stay. That night, with Kaya safe at Tallon's family home, Naomi's phone buzzed. Another message from Victor, another photo. This time, Tallon's house. The text, "Nice place. Be a shame if something happened to it." Tallon's grandmother greeted them with mutton stew and quiet assessment. She was small, ancient, with eyes that saw too much. She fussed over Kaya, welcomed Tallon home, and studied Naomi with something like recognition, not of her face, of her wounds. "You carry ghost sickness," the grandmother said in English, surprising Naomi. "Spirits of the past that won't let you rest." "Grandma," Tallon warned gently. "She knows I'm right." The old woman ladled stew. "The question is whether she wants peace or just escape." Naomi didn't answer. Couldn't. They ate together, Tallon's family, warm and alive, everything she'd never had. Kaya told stories about Webb, about leaving messages, about being terrified, but remembering what her brother had taught her about survival. She was brave and young, and reminded Naomi of who she might have been in another life. Then, Naomi's phone buzzed. A video message. She stepped outside to watch it. Victor Cruz filled the screen, standing in front of a building she recognized, her safe house in Albuquerque. The place where she'd hidden backup documents, cash, the life she'd built from scratch. "Hello, Luna." Victor's smile was sharp. "Been a long time. 3 years of looking. 3 years of you thinking you could hide. But you took something that belongs to us, the accounts, the keys, and Los Espectros doesn't forget debts." The video panned to show men loading her belongings into trucks. Everything. Gone. Victor's face returned. "Come back, bring the crypto keys, or we take everything you love. And I've been watching, Luna. I know about the cowboy. I know about his pretty family. You've got 48 hours. The video ended. Naomi stood frozen in the New Mexico night, her carefully constructed world crumbling. She'd been so careful. Changed her name, her face, subtle surgery, different nose, different chin, her entire identity. Become someone else. But you can't outrun your shadow. Tallon came out, saw her face. What happened? I need to leave now. Naomi, that's not even my real name. The words exploded out. I'm Luna Reyes. I was an enforcer for Los Espectros Cartel. I did things, terrible things, for 7 years. Then I stole $40 million in crypto keys and ran. Changed everything. Became a bounty hunter like that would somehow balance the scales. Tallon went very still. You brought them here. I didn't know. I thought I'd covered my tracks. I thought... She laughed bitterly. I thought I could have something good for once without it turning to ash. How long have you known they were coming? The question landed like a punch. I got the first message 3 days ago, the night before Webb took Kaya. Understanding and betrayal crossed Tallon's face. Webb wasn't random. This was a setup. I think so. Webb works with Los Espectros' financial network. They needed to get me somewhere isolated, somewhere I'd stay put long enough for them to move in. What better bait than... She couldn't finish. Then my sister. Tallon's voice went flat. They took Kaya to get to you. Yes. The silence stretched between them, vast as the desert. Finally, Tallon said, You should have told me. I know. People could have died. I know. My family. I know. Naomi's voice cracked. I know, okay? I know I'm poison. I know I ruin everything I touch. That's why I need to leave. Let me fix this. I'll give them what they want. Yourself? You think that's fixing anything? It's all I have. She tried to step closer, tried to make him understand, tried to kiss him like that would make it easier to walk away. Tallon stepped back. Don't use that to make this easier to walk away from. I'm not... Yes, you are. You're doing exactly what you always do, running. You think that's protecting people, but it's just you being afraid to stay and face consequences. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I understand you'd rather die than trust someone to stand with you. I understand you think you're alone because it's easier than believing anyone would choose you anyway. His voice gentled. But I saw you, Naomi. Luna, whoever you are. I saw you in that canyon, shaking, trying to be better. I saw you protect my sister. I saw you look at this land like maybe you wanted to stop running. Was any of that real? All of it. Her voice broke. All of it was real. That's the problem. Then stay. Fight. Let me help. You can't help me. This isn't something you can fix with traditions and community. This is cartel violence. This is federal charges. This is my life, my choices, my consequences. Then face them, here, with people who... He stopped. Who what? He didn't answer. The space between them felt impossible to cross. Inside, Kaya screamed. They ran together, burst through the door to find her on the phone, face white. It's him, Webb. He wants to talk to you. She held out the phone to Naomi with shaking hands. Naomi took it. Webb. Wrong. Victor's voice. Try again, Luna. Her blood froze. Let them go, Victor. They're not part of this. Everything you touch is part of this. That's what you never understood. You don't get to leave. You don't get to start over. Los Espectros owns you until we say different. I'll bring the keys. Just too late for deals. We're already here. The line went dead. Tallon was already moving, grabbing his rifle, checking ammunition. His grandmother gathered Kaya, headed for the safe room Tallon had built. Outside, headlights appeared on the long driveway. 1 vehicle, 2, 3. How many? Tallon's voice was combat calm. 6 men plus Victor, professionals, military training. Naomi checked her own weapons. We're outgunned. We're on my land. That counts for something. Tallon, she grabbed his arm. I can end this. Let me walk out. No. You'll die for nothing. Not for nothing. For you. And that's worth something to me, even if it's not to you. He met her eyes. I'm not letting you go. Not like this. So either we fight together or you shoot me yourself, because that's the only way you're walking out there alone. She'd never had anyone fight for her. Never had anyone choose her when it cost them something. The feeling was overwhelming. Terrified. Okay, she whispered. Together. They took positions. Tallon at the front windows, Naomi at the side. Grandmother and Kaya hidden. The vehicle stopped. Doors opened. Men emerged, silhouettes against headlights. Victor's voice carried across the desert. "Luna, let's talk like civilized people." Naomi looked at Tallon, saw determination in his face, saw something else. 2. Trust. Despite everything, he trusted her. She called back. "What do you want, Victor?" "You know what I want. Come out, we make a trade, you for the family, simple." Naomi's mind raced, calculated angles, positions, the distance to each man, the weapons they carried, the way Victor stood just behind his men, always protected, always smart. She could do this. She'd done this before, but it would require becoming Luna Reyes completely, becoming the weapon she'd spent 3 years trying to bury. "Give me 60 seconds, she called out. "Let me say goodbye." Victor laughed. 60 seconds, then I start shooting windows." Naomi turned to Tallon. His jaw was set, rifle ready. He was prepared to die defending his home. She couldn't let that happen. "Listen to me," she said quietly. "I'm going out there." "Like hell. Listen." She grabbed his face, made him look at her. "I'm going out there, but not to surrender. I'm going to end this. When I move, you shoot. You understand? When I move, you shoot the men on the left. I'll handle the right." "Naomi, my name is Luna." She said it clearly, accepting it. Luna Reyes. And she was very good at violence before she tried to forget. "Trust me, one more time. Trust me." His eyes searched hers. Finally, he nodded. She kissed him hard, tasted fear and faith and goodbye. Then she walked to the door. "I'm coming out," she called. "Don't shoot." She stepped into the Nevada night, hands raised. The crypto drive hung from her neck, visible. 6 men tracked her with weapons. Victor stood behind them, smiling. There she is, our Luna. She walked forward slowly, counted steps, memorized positions. The 2 men on the far right were younger, less experienced. They held their rifles wrong. The man directly in front was too confident. The ones flanking Victor were professionals. They'd be the problem. "Keys first," Victor said. "Let me see them. Let me know they're alive." Victor gestured. 1 man opened the truck. Kaya and the grandmother sat inside, frightened but unharmed. Naomi's heart clenched. "They're fine. For now." "Keys, Luna." She reached for the drive. Victor's attention focused on her hands. The men's attention followed. Mistake. She'd been counting. 15 steps from the house, 8 steps from the nearest man, 4 steps from the truck. Perfect. "Catch," she said, and threw the drive high and left. Every eye followed it. She moved. 7 years ago, Luna Reyes had been able to disarm a man in 1.3 seconds. Apparently, that skill didn't fade. She closed the 8 steps before the first man could swing his rifle back, took his weapon, used his body as a shield, fired 3 controlled shots. 2 men down. Behind her, Tallon's rifle cracked. Another man down. Chaos erupted. She was already moving, flowing between targets like water, like violence given form. The truck, she needed Kaya and grandmother safe. She rolled behind it, came up firing. Another man dropped. Victor was running, circling to the east back of the house. Smart. Get to cover, let his men handle her, but she was faster. She vaulted the truck bed, hit the ground running. Victor turned, knife already in hand, always preferred blades up close. They'd trained together once. She knew his moves. He slashed high. She ducked. He reversed, caught her ribs. Pain bloomed bright and hot. She stumbled. He pressed the advantage, blade seeking her throat. Behind them, Tallon broke from the house, rifle raised. The shot echoed across the desert. Victor dropped, surprise frozen on his face. Naomi fell to her knees, hand pressed to her side. Blood pulsed between her fingers, a lot of blood, too much blood. Tallon ran to her, dropped beside her. His hands replaced hers on the wound, pressing hard. "Kaya, call 911, now!" "Did we?" Naomi's voice sounded far away. "Is everyone? They're safe, you're safe." His face above her was terrified. "Stay with me. Do you hear me? Stay with me." She laughed. Wrong, bubbling. "Told you I'd fix it." "This isn't fixing anything, you stubborn." His voice cracked. "You could have died. Would have been worth it. Not to me." He pressed harder on the wound, desperate. "Not to me. Don't you understand that?" She wanted to answer, wanted to tell him that for the first time in 7 years, she'd stayed and fought instead of running, that she'd chosen him over escape, that maybe that meant something. but her vision was graying. The stars above the desert were so bright. When had she last stopped to look at stars? "Tallon," she managed, "I'm sorry. For all of it. For not being someone you could—" "Stop!" His face was wet. Tears. Tallon was crying. "Stop! You think I don't know who you are? I saw you, all of you, from that first morning, and I—" He couldn't finish. She tried to hold on, tried to stay, but darkness pulled like a tide. The last thing she heard was sirens. 72 hours later, Naomi woke to white ceiling tiles and the steady beep of machines. Hospital. She was alive. That was surprising. Pain throbbed in her side, stitched, bandaged, alive. She cataloged her body with the detached efficiency of someone used to damage assessment. No permanent harm. Lucky. Federal agents sat outside her door. She could see them through the window. Dark suits, serious faces. Of course. Webb was in custody. Victor's crew was dead or arrested. Los Espectros' operation on tribal land had drawn too much attention. She was looking at charges, old crimes, new crimes, stolen funds, 10 years, maybe more. Kaya came in first, carrying flowers, desert blooms in cheerful colors. "You're awake." "Where's Tallon?" Kaya's face closed slightly. "Dealing with the tribal council, the elders. You brought violence to sacred land. That has consequences." "I know." Naomi accepted it. She'd expected this. Some wounds don't heal. "He wanted to be here," Kaya added. "He's been here every night. But the council meets today. About you. About what happens next." "What happens next is I go. To prison." "Maybe," Kaya set the flowers down. "Or maybe you stay. Pay your debts here, to our community. The old ways allow for that. For redemption through service, if you want it. Why would you want that? I used you as bait. I brought danger to your family. You also saved my life. And you love my brother," said simply, like it was obvious. "He hasn't been like this in years. Happy, open. You're good for him, even if you don't think you are." Before Naomi could respond, the agents came in. They laid out her options: return the crypto funds, testify against Los Espectros' financial network, witness protection, new name, new life. Again, she'd done it before, but this time felt different. This time, she'd be leaving something behind that mattered. "I need to think about it," she said. "You have 24 hours. After they left, after Kaya left, Naomi lay in the quiet hospital room and thought about roots and running, about Luna Reyes and Naomi Brooks and whoever she was becoming, about a man who'd seen every broken piece and hadn't looked away. For 7 years, she'd been running. Maybe it was time to stand still. That night, Tallon came. He looked exhausted, older, worn by worry and duty and impossible choices. He sat 2 chairs away from her bed, their old distance from the beginning. "How are you?" he asked. "Alive, how are you?" "Tired." They sat in silence. Finally, Naomi said, "Kaya told me about the council. What did they decide?" "They're still deciding. About you. About whether redemption is possible or whether some things can't be forgiven." He looked at his hands. "My grandmother spoke for you. Told them about ghost sickness, about how healing requires community. But others see only the danger you brought. They're right too. Maybe." He finally looked at her. "But being right isn't the same as being wise." The hospital chapel was empty at midnight, just stone and wood and quiet. Naomi sat in the back pew, stitches pulling with every breath, thinking about disappearing. She was good at it. She'd done it before. New name, new city, new life. She could do it again. But this time felt different. This time, she'd be leaving something real behind. Footsteps echoed. Tallon walked in, still in the clothes he'd worn to the council meeting. He sat 2 chairs away, keeping their distance. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked. "Haven't been able to for 3 days." "Me neither." They sat in silence. Then Tallon said, "My grandmother says you carry ghost sickness, spirits of the past that won't let you rest." "Sounds about right." "She says there's a ceremony. If you want peace, not just escape, it takes time, commitment, community. It takes staying." Naomi's throat tightened. "I don't belong to anything, anyone." "I know." His voice was gentle. "That's your wound. But it doesn't have to be your future." He told her about the council meeting, about the arguments, those who saw only danger, those who saw possibility. about the elders who remembered that their people had survived by adapting, by sometimes offering second chances to those who'd lost their way. About his grandmother's testimony that some people needed to be welcomed home before they could heal. "They're willing to consider it," Tallon said, "if you stay, if you face what you've done, if you serve the community. No promises, no guarantees, just a possibility." "Why?" Naomi's voice broke. "Why would they risk it?" "Because my grandmother saw something in you. Because Kaya believes you deserve a chance. Because He stopped. "Because you what?" He finally looked at her. "Because I saw you in that canyon, after the fight, shaking, trying to be better than what you were. That's not someone who's lost. That's someone finding their way. And because when you kissed me, I felt it. You wanting to stay. Maybe for the first time in your life." Naomi felt tears on her face. When had she started crying? "I don't know how to stay. I've never stayed. I know. I'll disappoint you. I'll want to run. Probably. I'm not good at being loved. Good thing I'm patient." He moved closer, one chair now. "But I need to know. Are you running because you think it's safer for everyone, or because you're afraid?" "Both. Neither. Everything. What if I stay and I can't do it? What if I'm too broken? Then we deal with it, together. But you don't get to make that choice for me. You don't get to decide I can't handle your past." His hand found hers. "I'm asking you to stay. Not because I think I can fix you. You're not a project. I'm asking because I want to know what happens next, with you, with us, the real you, the one who's standing still long enough to figure out who she wants to be." She kissed him, softer this time, like a promise instead of goodbye. "If I stay, I do the work, the real work, legal consequences, making amends, whatever it takes. Okay? I mean it. I testify against Los Espectros. I return the funds. I serve probation. I face everything I've done. I know. And I'll probably be terrible at ceremonies and traditions and all of it. You will be." He smiled slightly. "But you'll learn." Over the next 6 months, Naomi learned. She testified, spent weeks in deposition, laying out everything about Los Espectros' financial network. The crypto funds, returned to victims where possible, seized where not. Her stolen millions gone. But somehow that felt right. Blood money couldn't buy clean futures anyway. She pleaded guilty to accessory charges, got 5 years probation, community service, restitution payments. It could have been worse. Her cooperation, the violence she'd stopped, the lives she'd saved, all counted for something. The tribal council voted. Close. But they voted yes. She could stay, on conditions. She'd work with tribal youth programs, teach self-defense, but not violence, protection, empowerment. She'd attend ceremonies, learn traditions, become part of the community she'd endangered. She'd prove, through actions, that redemption was possible. Some days were hard. She woke up wanting to run, wanting to disappear. Her truck was always gassed up, always ready. But Tallon's hand on her shoulder grounded her, reminded her that staying was a choice she got to make again each morning. She learned Navajo. Slowly. Terribly. The language didn't work like any she'd studied. It required thinking differently, seeing differently. Grandmother found her fumbling through vocabulary with quiet amusement and endless patience. She taught self-defense classes to women on the reservation, showed them how to stand, how to see threats, how to protect themselves without becoming weapons. Some of the women were her age, some were younger. All of them had reasons for learning. She understood that. Survival skills mattered. Kaya became something like a sister, teaching her beadwork, dragging her to community events, laughing at her clumsy attempts to weave. "You're good at violence, but terrible at art," Kaya teased. "That's okay. There's time to learn." Time. Naomi had time now. She wasn't running from the next threat, planning the next escape, calculating the next disappearing act. She had time to learn, to grow, to become someone new while accepting who she'd been. Tallon watched her change, not becoming someone else, becoming more herself. The hardness remained, but softened at the edges. The wariness stayed, but opened to trust. She still kept her weapons close, still scanned rooms on instinct. But now she laughed sometimes, let people close, let herself be known. "You're getting better at staying," he said one evening as they sat on his porch. "It's still hard. I know. Some days I want to run. I know. But I don't. I know." He pulled her closer. "That's what matters. Not that it's easy, that you choose it anyway." 6 months after the shooting, the tribal council held a ceremony. Naomi didn't understand most of it, the words, the rituals, the meaning beneath meaning, but she participated as best she could. Let the elders sing over her. Let them mark her transition from outsider to probationary member of the community. Grandmother gave her a new name in Navajo, not Luna, not Naomi, something that meant returns home or finds way back. Translation couldn't quite capture it, but Naomi felt it in her bones. Recognition, acceptance, belonging, conditional but real. That night, she and Tallon rode to Spider Rock. The desert stretched vast and beautiful around them, painted in sunset colors. She'd finally stopped running long enough to see it, to feel it, to understand why Tallon spoke about this land like it was alive. "Thank you," she said quietly. "For what?" "For not giving up on me, for seeing something worth saving." "I didn't save you." Tallon's hand found hers across the space between horses. "You saved yourself. You chose to stop running. You chose the harder path. That's all you. We did it together." "Yeah," he smiled. "We did." They rode. Toward home. Not a place she was running to or from, but a place she was choosing. Daily. Consciously. Despite the fear and the ghosts and the part of her that would always want to disappear. She was Luna Reyes, who became Naomi Brooks, who became someone new. All of it true. All of it her. The violence and the healing, the running and the staying, the past she couldn't erase and the future she was building. The desert stretched before them. Behind them, Tallon's house lights glowed warm in the gathering dark. Home. She had a home. And for the first time in 7 years, Luna, Naomi, whoever she was becoming, wasn't running from it.